and gentlemen, I want to indicate to you that the vaccination program in Trinidad and Tobago is as good as and probably better than most, certainly in the CARICOM and worldwide.
No. No.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
That Guyana remains the country that has brought in to its borders the most vaccines. The most vaccines. And we have half the population of Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley has one of the most populous country, and he measures it against Grenada, where there are about 60,000 people, half of whom are children. He measures it against St. Vincent, where you have 100,000 people. And then he says Trinidad is doing well. Look how much St. Vincent has bought in, and how much Trinidad has. Trinidad has 1.9 million people. Those people got a couple thousand people. How can you compare the two? But anyhow, Anil Roberts made all those points, and there is no need for me to waste time and energy on Prime Minister Rowley. I think he has been adequately addressed and condignly dealt with.
Umbrage to an attack by the chairman of CARICOM about the performance of the Guyanese government and its vaccination program from a man, Keith Christopher Rowley, that has overseen the worst vaccination program in the entire globe, the worst COVID-19 fight on the globe. We have the highest death rate after being under state of emergency for 40 days and lockdown for 51 days of total complete lockdown. GDP gone, economy gone, people suffering, no tea and tech rates going up, no gas subsidy, you wouldn't be able to drive your car, and Rowley have time to attack Guyana, and Guardian have time to protect Rowley. The Express is also taking umbrage with the leader of the opposition rather than Keith Christopher Rowley, who gets up in the parliament and fabricates and lies once again on a lady, a former prime minister's health, giving innuendo and insinuating that she had COVID-19 and lies. Rowley is a franco-ment liar. But I'm sorry, I must apologize. I wanted to deal with that this evening, 7:30 p.m., but no, we have a delay. We have a programming change, so I humbly apologize. Tomorrow night, be ready, 7:30 p.m. sharp. douglAR Politics.
douglAR Politics. We don't listen, douglAR Politics, yeah. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics, yeah. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics, yeah. douglAR Politics.
Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics Special Edition, Saturday 7:30. We start on time, one time sharp. Let me tell you something. The Minister of Bundles, ball, everything all set for SCA. Really and truly, are we a society that really don't care about nobody else once we good? So we have money, we have laptop, we have internet, and our children doing good because we have a private sector school. We paying fees and our teachers doing work. So we children good. So let's go with an exam. Fire burn the 46,690 children who have not been online. What percentage of that is primary school? I don't know. But it must have some. It must have some children who have to take the SCA who have not been prepared properly. And you all boasting about all set to go for an exam in 5 days when some children who are already at a disadvantage, now at a greater disadvantage, all you don't believe in meritocracy and fairness and equality of competition, all you don't have no kind of sense behind all your P&M, and you only studying to get bundles. People can't open their spa, hairdresser can't open, man can't go for massage, woman can't go for pedicure, they all looking growing up, look like they have sandpaper on their foot, but you, Minister, you have your bundles upon bundles upon bundles. Eh? No, where you getting your bundles? How you doing your bundles? I thought we on lockdown, shut down and broke down. But your bundles growing. And very nice. And then the Ministry of Education telling teachers, rush in. Come and take vaccine today, Saturday. Them going to take vaccine. All of a sudden, the Alcini convent girl, the big dunce who cannot pass a pharmacological exam, talking like he wish he went St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. This big clown started ball, well, okay, we'll open up on the weekends now. Pandemic, 16-month-old, 16 months, and all you have no vaccine, you have nothing. We have super spreader event, and now you're telling teachers, come for vaccine, because we want you all to be safe in an exam. Rush today because you all have to invigilate. So you're going to take a vaccine now. The science say that it takes 3 weeks for the antibodies to develop. But the exam is in 5 days. Only in Trinidad, all you could just mama guy people. Science ceases to exist in Trinidad. If Newton come down and see P&M, he would have been a dum-dum. Because anything he say, them go say the opposite. So you all understand the mamagism? So teachers taking a chook. The chook does take 3 weeks to give you any benefit, any efficacy against contracting the infectious disease. But the exam is in 5 days. So they're sending people to dead. And then all you want to criticize Guyana and Barbados and other countries in this world, all you really have a gumption, boy. All you sweet too bad with this PNM. Rowley have a friend across on the other side of the world, boy. Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan say to all you women who are being attacked by sexual violence, it's all your fault. All you're wearing too few clothes, says Imran Khan. Well, Imran, you must align with Rowley up in Goodwood Park or in the golf course eating shrimps and drinking scotch because you have to be a madman. You victim blaming just like Rowley to say, I not in your bedroom. Choose your man wisely. Who asked you to go there, man? What you want me to do? You and Rowley is too bag of clown. But you see, Pakistani don't play. I don't feel Imran go last out till the end of the year. Miami Carnival, boy. Oh Lord, all of your Trini who feel Trinidad sweet, all of your left foot, right foot, all of your PNM. Oh God, PNM. Yes, this is what happens when you have a good government. Like even Trump was better than PNM. Even Trump had things rolling. Trump had vaccination and Biden, he can't walk up steps. He don't remember what he's saying sometimes. His suit kind of too big for him. He's not looking so hot. Kamala looking good, but at least the Yankee and them doing thing. Look, Trinis, all of the PNM man who like to wine and thing, look. All you can't even go there because all you take Seattle and you can't travel. So it's only man would fight. Well, Rowley, you might be able to go. You take the Pfizer, Rowley? Tell Anil now. I ain't gonna tell nobody, boy. Tell Anil now, boy. Whisper now. Nah, don't whisper. You don't whisper to me. You see that thing you and Stuart, he does be doing, me ain't that, eh? But did you take the Pfizer, Rowley? So you could go Miami Carnival? Nah, but they don't let Miami Carnival don't have girls under 21 because they have alcohol. So you ain't go wine on nothing because you're about 17, so? What was 17? About 17 you like to hold them, eh? And put in HDC house? Eh, Rowley? Yeah, they wouldn't want you in that Miami Carnival. That is old woman alone for you, boy. Old woman alone. Old woman alone is taking home. Hey! 110 million to send home 450 car workers. Pilots gone, engineer gone, agent to check in gone, flight attendant gone. They try to see who's sweeter than who now. All they running up in Balize house to say, it's a PNM, all don't bust my throat. All they want another chance to dip finger. The man who crashed the airline, the man who hired the board, who hired the clowns, who had no plan, who didn't know how to operate, who while every other company in the world made adjustments and so on, made arrangements with the leasing of jets, leasing correct jets and making and maneuvering and grabbing up spots when others weaker airlines collapse. We ain't do that. We not proactive. We not bright. We take a failed PNM from the diesel and put it in top of the airline. Pay 2 foreigners 40,000 US. Them still are the work. Or it's only locals getting bus throat? Eh? If you talk with an accent, you don't get a bus throat. So if you talk like my Yankee rester from Chumakek by way of Brooklyn, you keep your job. Is that how it goes? So if you talk like that, you keep your work. Yeah, well the man who crashed Cal now coming to bust all your throat. Left foot, right foot. Election have consequences. All you keep studying who is Indian, who does eat roti, who like palori, and who like corn soup with pilau. All you keep studying that. You studied that. Because this boy, that one, this black man here, this strong African brother, this man, this what you all vote for, man, this. And boy, I'm sorry for you. You really look like your father. They didn't need no DNA test day. Lord, you couldn't take nothing from by your mother's side, boy. You had to take all that from Colm, son. I pity you, son. Oh, Lord, genetics is a sad thing. Science, oh, Lord, that wickedness. Your mother genes had to be so weak. You get all that from your father. I feel like, I can't even bad talking now because I feel sorry for you. But you still have a work? Or you getting severance? Either way you win. Your father fix you up? Yes or no? Like the same phone they find for you? Can't find people missing children, but they find your phone. Get that off of my screen now. Right. 2022 Tobago budgeting without an assembly. Ring the bell, says Dr. Vanessa James. Tobago needs the assembly to be established in order to use its power to formulate and implement policy for the 33 areas of responsibility assigned under the 5th schedule of the Act 40 of 1996. Without an assembly, there will be many risks for Tobago, with 6 of them being the Chief Secretary will not be able to transmit draft estimates. 2, the people of Tobago will not have adequate representation in the process of planning and budgeting. 3, there's a high probability that a cabinet-dictated budget will be inadequate. 4, the Secretary of Finance and the Economy will not be able to implement the provisions of Section 51A of the Act with grievous consequences. 5, the Secretary will not be forced to answer important questions in relation to the 300 million bond issue. 6, the citizens of the country will be without institutional arrangement. That is Tobago, and Purkit Rowley from Tobago. How you treat your own people, how you treat your own family. What all you want for the rest of we? What you want for Point 14? Labre, Kuva, Pinal, Barakpo, Matlot, Sangre Grande, Dabadi, Arima. The man treating the own people, the own Tobagonian, suffer them like never before. And all they expect him to treat you all nice? Well, if you're pink, yeah. If you're pink, you get nice. Tracy, like Tobago Tracy, TT. Tobago autonomy bills an upgrade over THA Act. It's amazing that you could be born, you could come out on a beautiful island, be raised in the belly of paradise by a community strong and tight-knit. And once you see something red, looking like a balize in the bush, and they shake it on you, you forget your mother, your grandmother, your heritage, your family, your community, your island, and you just live for Balize. This Balize thing powerful. I feel them scientists better joke a Balize and get rid of COVID, you know, because that Balize thing powerful. Tracy read a bill that does nothing for Tobago, keeps the PNM in Trinidad having Tobago like a second-class citizen, and telling Tobagonian that better than the THA Act. Tracy, that Balize true skill. You better mix some punching in that. Ho Choi, the bills carrying Tobago back. Yes, because Ho Choi is a normal Franco-man Tobagonian, not infected by the Balize. Talking about not infected by the Balize. This Tobagonian lady. Oh Lord, Anil, shh, let this lady speak for you. Speak, my princess. Speak, my queen. Run it.
I saw a behavior in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago yesterday by the Prime Minister Keith Rowley. Since I born out from my mother, I never see a next Caribbean leader more unruly and more disrespectful like that man named Keith Christopher Rowley. People of Trinidad and Tobago, we are the laughing stock in the Caribbean. Everybody laughing at we. If you put into anybody else's channel who do in Parliament, you never see that behavior from no president, neither no prime minister. Yesterday, I thought we was on George Street in Trinidad with Gina and Diana. I swear it was a jamet. Were portraying inside the thing there yesterday. Or we on a soap opera, Bold and Beautiful. Or we had a thing long time used to call it Calabash Alley. I said, was that going on in Parliament there yesterday? A big man like that. I sure he's the oldest man in Parliament and look at his behavior. And you want the youths of the country to get respect for you. You had to give respect to gain respect, boy. You ain't get no respect, boy. You have no respect as a big man. And every time you go to jump up, you have to bring in something stupid concerning the opposition. And every time it's coming, I tell you already, God fed up of you calling that woman name. He is fed up of you calling the woman names and putting things on she that she don't know anything about. If she asks you, if you take out the vaccine and come the 80 vaccine, while they say so, security, what's so wrong about that? No question they ask you, you can't answer. You have to be going on like what Manning say. A raging bull, and you want to bully everybody in the Parliament, and then you have someone on your side that sit down in some desk. All they're good for is to pound this, a set of stupid people. Sorry to say that, but they have no sense. In Trinidad and Tobago, you put some people in power. Not me, who put them there. And I can't ask them no question concerning nothing in the country. They ask about vaccines, it start to cause scammer. They talk about, they want a forensic thing into the amount of people that died from the COVID. He started ball, but he tell people to go out there and take vaccine. So what are you trying to tell me, go out there and dead? That is what he say. Guyana. What you on Guyana for? Guyanese people, how you looking so bad? You look so bad as the head of the CARICOM that everybody blazing you in the CARICOM to see how you're behaving. You is not a prime minister. You're supposed to be on a soap opera. You're a jamet. Sorry to tell you that. You are a jamet.
I can't say it better than that. Oh yeah, my people. Well said. But the truth is the truth is the truth. But those who just inject with the Balize juice, all you mightn't hear that, you know. But to everybody else who didn't take the second dose of Balize juice, now all you open all your ears, all you now seeing what Keith Christopher Rowley is. Here, next one. Emery Brown. Vaccine talks with US still on. I don't know who was, you or Roger. Roger still want me to listen to he about a refinery that wasn't shutting down, that shut down on a deal that he was never getting, that was a ruse, but he say he was getting it to be the owner of a refinery, to get investment, to start back the refinery that will never start back. With he there, he leaning to the left, and he getting confused, and Emery Brown saying, the talks with the United States of America still going on. Well, Emery Brown, it's best you talk like this. Vicepresidente Kamala Harris, soy Emery Brown, el cabrón de Trinidad y Tobago. Mi primer ministro y Maduro son amigos, abrazados todos. Ay, ¡viva la revolución de Chávez y Maduro, Delcy Rodríguez y cocaína y tráfico y corrupción es mi motto? You should talk like that and see if Biden want to hear all you. 500 million vaccine and none for we. Oh, we get 80 vials. What we get? 400. Rowley, you take one? You take two? Rowley? Rowley? You didn't answer the question, son. Answer the question, son. Don't gallery. Nobody's afraid of you, you coward. You got on your boots, Why don't bring your boots down in the studio by douglAR Politics and let me get down to the business? Eh? You little bully. Did you take the Pfizer, boy? You coward. Eh? You get COVID right when you was to take the AstraZeneca. Eh? You bum them your capers to the club and you say, oh gosh, I have a sniffy nose. Oh gosh, oh give me a test, give me a test. I sneezed a little bit last night. Oh God, I'm positive earlier. Oh, yeah, Lord, I'm positive at a lockdown in Tobago, at a lockdown here, yes, I'm positive. I'm parasite, run out there quick. Tell them, since I'm positive, I'm the only man in the world, had to wait 6 months. 6 months, because I can't take no vaccine. Never mind everybody in the world taking vaccine, whether they have COVID, don't have COVID, in COVID, out of COVID. They say it's all right. The 10 days, 7 days. The longest one was 28 days. But no, Avery Hines, you really get at that scholarship? That scholarship from Joan Yule. You was one of them, Avery Hines. But anyway, don't study that. Go and tell them that I can't take no vaccine for 6 months. Eh? Don't go and tell them nothing else. Rowley, you take the Pfizer, boy. All that gallery stand up inside of there with blue hair protecting you. Come out like a man and talk now. Your mama pool. Here the next mama pool. Clarence, you talk to your wife yet? She ate your macro. Hey, Clarence? Hey, Clarence. COVID home care working good. Clarence, the mere fact that we have COVID patients in home care means the system ain't working good. You big dunce, Clarence. COVID home care. So somebody tests positive for COVID and all you have nothing to do with them. You have no facilities, everything overwhelmed. You send them home and you say that working good, Clarence. Secondly, Clarence, how could COVID home care be working good? We have been on lockdown for over 50 days. Brian Lara would be batting going to make his century. And we have more and more cases every day. Yesterday alone, we had 16 dead people, Clarence. Over 32 people have died at home, Clarence. And that's working well, Clarence. That is like saying, when you are 71 years old and you might be a heart patient and you might have something in your throat and you get COVID, and they say that COVID has given you erectile dysfunction, and you're gone there and the thing bloops. You come out, you kiss your wife, and say, boy, I perform good. Hey, Rowley, how that COVID treating you? Eh? Hey, Rowley, how it treating you? Hey, Clarence, why you don't go and ask Rowley how it treating him? See if you could help him now, instead of talking one bag of nonsense about COVID home care working. There's been no failure on the part of the government in managing thousands of COVID-19 positive people at home. That come out Clarence's mouth, and the next thing was saying, yes, man, the system working. But if you all notice, Wednesday was 14 days after the super spreader event encouraged and accepted responsibility by Rowley for sending our citizens out to get vaccines that did not exist, causing a super spreader event. If you all noticed, the numbers were trending downwards with whatever testing them does do. I just holding that as a constant, you know. In science, you must hold a constant in order to analyze. I holding the numbers, the PNM dotishness, the dodo head, the dum-dum thing as a constant, because PNM is constantly dotish. So that is a scientific fact. So we keeping that day. That don't move. Yes, we are trending downwards to 148, 130 positive tests. They weren't testing that much because we are still up at 30% of positives per amount tested and so on. But in the last few days, today, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we are seeing increases from 120, 140, 148, up to 220, 222, up to 348. Is that an increase, Dr. Parshram? Is that an increase, Dr. Hines? And Dr. Abdul, is that an increase? Is it an increase in your pay package? How much money you get from the PNM? You're on the ERHA board. You're on the Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standard board. You're working for the government. Which other board you're on? You're on one other board, the NIPDEC board. Hey, where the 500 vaccine that come in NIPDEC? Dr. Abdul. This is very interesting. I did not hear any discussion on the spike that we are seeing from the Wednesday 9th, Thursday 10th, Friday 11th debacle of the PNM by Rowley and Convongill to send our citizens out there to spread after we like blue band on bread. We locked down inside, locked down, shut down, broke down and dead down and losing money every day. Businesses shutting down, people starving. And them come to undo any hope of what is happening. Do you know that a boat left this morning for Venezuela with 5 fellas on it? I got the information. They were working here. Them tell their bosses, we can't stay here. We go in this place too hard, too no work, no money. Them gone back Venezuela. But do you know when they went back on the boat? 11 people came off the boat this morning. Talbot, where are you? You Pumsite Rasta. Where are you at Talbot telling people to go and find gun and pelt it out in the road, but don't tell the police who gun it is? You're still there? You're still spreading the gospel of Talbot? Or you're going to bathe in Beetham? I see that flood, you know. Whenever it flood, the whole of Beetham does it calling you for a bath. They walk in with Protect soap and sewer water. What is this next one from one dum-dum to the next one? They have a minister of public utilities. Oh God, what the man they may know where them find he, nah? All I know is he does wear plenty makeup to take picture and thing. Like he trying to be one a tight shirt, tight pants, a la recusal friend, and then maybe he hoping to rent out a building. Anyway, the current PNM dum-dum minister of public utilities. I hear you calling my name, boy. May I even know your name to call your name? You calling my name in the parliament and say that the UNC and Anil Roberts are putting forward false information to the population that the subsidy is going to be removed by your wicked, nasty PNM government who says to wean yourself of the government, the new societies that you must do for yourself. Like you don't listen to your own prime minister, you don't listen to your own Dwayne minister of finance, you don't listen to your previous minister of public utilities, Minister Lahant, you don't listen to nobody. They just put you there. Obviously they put you there because you're expendable, boy. You don't even know what's going on in your own portfolio. Just now while you was locking up people, Wassa connection. UNC come out and it is some hard Macron, and you had to come out, you ball them UNC only cousin bacchanal, and in the evening you come out, well, we change our position. Hey, cry baby, flip-flopper. Did you know about the Wassa disconnection drive? Did you know about the man who's in charge of Wassa? Or was that man put on top of you? Well, sorry, I'm not going to say that because you might like that. And I'm going to say, was that man put beside you to work alongside you? And next time, wipe off the makeup or something now. You want to call my name and you're wearing makeup? What if I couldn't Macron you, my hand will slip off with the powder and thing? What's going on? You want lip gloss? Let me tell you something, no name. You don't even know what the PNM going and do. They put you in a portfolio, you don't even know what's going on. Because the people are going to suffer the increased rates. You don't even know, you didn't even pay attention, you didn't even listen to the general manager of TNTech. You didn't listen to mash up subsidy input. You didn't listen to Keith Christopher Rowley wean yourself of the government. I need to spend the money on painting my building, my boy, Small Pin and his brother and them, Richard Young. I mean, Imbot must get a little thing. We must rent out a building, so by a la tight pants, a la Rawi, rent out a few more buildings, more recusal. You ever get a recusal makeup face? You ever get a recusal? You's not in the higher echelons of the PNM hierarchy. You are not, you are lower in the animal farm, son. So you will not know that of which Anil speaks. But have no fear. Vishnu and Archie have been instructed to hold your words. Your words that you say and you call it my name, but you have to be a dum-dum, sir. Anil, don't forget. And when Anil is proven correct, and your heartless PNM government comes to jam the population with increase in TNTech rates, I will make you a superstar. You see how Rowley's a super spreader? You will be, oh, let me don't say that now, you might like to be a super spreader. You see how Rowley's the super spreader? You will be the super dum-dum who did not even know what was going on in his portfolio. Archie, record and play this clock. What your name? Play he.
Madam Speaker, this is no conspiracy theory.
Question.
This is the responsibility of the opposition.
Question.
Can the minister confirm information that is currently in the public domain that electricity rates should be double or triple in short order?
Minister.
Madam Speaker, it is very shameful that the member is coming here to repeat the conspiracy theories of one Senator Anil Roberts that has absolutely no foundation in truth, and therefore my response to him is no.
Member for Puma South.
Madam Speaker.
And next time, pull up your tie a little tie. Oh God, or they don't. You're so putting on makeup, you forget to know how to dress. Or they don't know how to dress. I don't even like to dress, but when I dress, look good without makeup. You understand? But let me hold it and we record that, Let me go now to Mr. Ramsuk, please. The manager of TNTech. Come in, Ramsuk.
And point out one issue. So at this point in time, if we were to have no subsidy on the gas, the rates would have to be reset at 9 US cents per kilowatt hour. So it gives you an idea of the business operation and how the operational cost is taking place. So with zero subsidies, you refer to 9 cents. I know we spoke about Suriname and they are also being subsidized at this point in time. So I want to mention 2 points. So at 9 cents, if you look at any jurisdiction with any unsubsidized rates, they will start you off at 12 cents. So if you use that to guide you in terms of the utility and its operation, that would be one factor. One other factor to look at.
9 cents and they start you off at 12 cents and you're moving if you're unsubsidized rate. Now, Mr. Minister who reaching there and is not really the topper, to be a topper PNM minister, makeup man, you had to get recusal. Your wife had to get contract. You had to rent your own building. You ain't do nothing like that. You is a black bencher. They just put you up there and push you to the side to say, hey, we are the black government. We represent. And you put on so much makeup, you will make your black face look brown. You look light brown. You don't even know. You put on the wrong shade, boy. You understand? Put on your shade of makeup next time now. No, you don't even understand. Right now, under the subsidy, we are operating at 4 US cents. Your boy Ramsuk sell all out and say when they start, when you remove subsidy, start off at 12. The last time I checked in mathematics, that is not Rowley own, about half of 180,000 is 140,000. The last time I multiply 4 by 3, I get 12. Show the CNC3 image to show what we are currently paying. You see? We are currently at 4 US cents. And Ramsuk just said, when you remove the subsidy, we don't know. That's a government position. Well, let's find out. What is the PNM's government position? What is the PNM New Society position? Makeup man, Minister of Public Utilities, makeup, neophyte, Minister neophyte. Look at your party's position. I know you don't read, you may not have paid attention, you know, you're just happy that they draft you from somewhere. You don't know where they pull you out from, under whom they pull you out from, underneath there. You understand? You was probably studying to put on weave, to go the makeup. But listen, man, listen to your government's policy position, clown. Run it.
Every road to be built in this country has to be built by the government. Every school, every health center, every this, every that. Because in this country, for the last generation or two, we've grown up under government. well, you better begin to be weaned off the government, because the government's shoulder cannot carry the burden anymore.
Over 600 million TT dollars a year. That's what the central bank estimates it will cost the state given the mass migration of Venezuelans to this country.
Yes, forget the last 10 seconds, but that's your Prime Minister's policy. That we in Trinidad and Tobago, all of us, all of the people, must wean ourselves off the government. And you don't understand, the subsidy is what we the people benefit from the government policy. And since the government policy is that we have to wean ourselves off, your government policy, Minister Neophyte, is to take away we subsidy. You don't even know your predecessor, who was there, who was promoted and put the news they do, all kind of PR feature on him when he came. He swear in twice. He come from Ghana. He come like a big boy. He came and he was so important. But he thought he was more important than he was. He too had no recusals. The man who is the number one in recusals got him angry. That minister dared to attack Rowley's K-Pax cleaner. And Rowley loves his K-Pax. So he got rid of that one, your predecessor, one of your predecessors. Let's see just a short snippet of what your predecessor's policy was, Mr. Makeup Minister. Speaking to reporters at the commissioning of TNTEC's new aerial lift and crane trucks at the Public Lighting Department, Gasparillo Bypass Road, Gasparillo last Friday, LeHunt noted that the current electricity rate of US 5.2 cents per kilowatt before tax, or 1/6 of what is paid in other Caribbean countries. Move that clong, please. Move it. I can't. Y'all put him down. My blood pressure boils when I see abject stupidity and heartless human being. All your heart, you don't like me? You want me to go in Cuba to end up in the ICU and dead? Is that what you want? Oh God, move it, Ajay! No. Now, that makeup clown, I don't want to see him again. Makeup clown. What your predecessor, who understood carefully when he was on the plane going to Ghana, for two of them to pretend they were in regal black African robes, to dress like kings of Africa, to come back and oppress African in Trinidad and Tobago. While they were doing that, they discussed the weaning. They discussed what they're going to do. They discussed why they're in power to remove the subsidy from people and make us pay more. You makeup wearing dunce. So you may not know what is coming. And when it comes, I would love to see you the day after the cabinet announces, in a post-cabinet. You won't be able to read it because you will be in the cabinet crying, I can't believe all you're doing with this. All you're going to embarrass me. That bald big mouth douglAR, and oh God, a shame. I boof up that man. I say that man lie. You mean that man know more about what's going on in the cabinet than me, and I in the cabinet? You wouldn't, but you will have to, because the Balizé juice, the double dose you don't have, will tell you that this is the only way you can survive in Trinidad and Tobago. Your only way to be a big Sawati is to be a K-Pax liquor in the PNM, and you will take that cabinet note. Your hands will be shaking, and you will come out and say, ladies and gentlemen, today, the cabinet, on the advice of the cabinet subcommittee on energy, has decided to remove the subsidy from public utilities, TNTEC, so the RIC will be instructed that the base price of electricity will now fall at 12 cents, 12 US cents per kilowatt. You will read that, and I will come on douglAR Politics and laugh at you, no lie, for about half an hour. I go laugh at you with music, soca, poetry, makeup, dance, culture, limbo. I'm going to laugh at you for half an hour. I promise you. All you record that and keep, I keep my promises. Right? So let me tell you something. If you wasn't sure about what cabinet you're in, there's a Dwayne who's your Minister of Finance. The Dwayne is a big minister. The Dwayne does get recusal. The Dwayne does go in parliament and make laws to benefit himself when he done build up a building tall to make extra profit. The Dwayne does his thing. The Dwen don't make joke. The Dwen loves the Dwen. And listen to the Dwen. Run it.
Price of fuel by 15%. I then realized that was not enough. I came back again in April and I raised it again by 15%. And I came back again just a few weeks ago and raised it by another 15%. They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15% in April of next year.
Does the Dwen tell you good morning on Thursdays when you reach for cabinet makeup, boy? Does he even know your name? You talking like you some big Sawati. You are there, you clung, you don't know what's even going on in your portfolio. Just ask a few of your former cabinet colleagues. They were just there. Ask Nicola Oliveri how it feels to have a portfolio and have somebody else running it while you just shaking hand and draws in a pay. Ask Nicola Oliveri how she tried to do her job to keep Petrotrin running and to ensure that they weren't losing money and that fake oil was not going unchecked. Where's Nicola Oliveri now? She can't find her Bible to swear in to be no minister. She was sitting in a seat somewhere by you, the makeup artist. Ask Randall Mitchell how it felt to be Minister of Tourism and sandals going on and Smallpin running and negotiating with Adam Butch Stewart and all of them and Rowley and them all over his portfolio. And when media asking Randall Mitchell, hey, what's going on? Ask Stuart Young. Ask them. Go and ask Shamfa Kujo about how she reached in sport. Because she said when your own dog bite you, you're well bitten. Because she didn't want to be in sport, she was happy to be in tourism, but she there to open her mouth and question things about sandals. What is this going on? How no man's land? Is a Tobogonian? Oh, Shamfa. They push Shamfa so, and Shamfa went so, and everything come in, some went out, and it get lighter. Very good. She ain't no good in sport, but she looking better, I must say. Good job, Shamfa. Ask Ethelbert how it feels to be a Minister of National Security and not know one thing that's going on. Because the real Minister of National Security not only usurping his authority, but in the office of the Prime Minister making decisions, and Ethelbert just there to pretend and look stiff. Like he now come out from Batus. He come out. Was he one in Arima, boy? We boys was ever up there? Armstrong, he sit down there like Armstrong done, embalm he, and a lady tell he to hush him out. That is what you is. You don't know nothing. You going to call Anil name in the downstairs? Boy, come upstairs, I'm going to deal with you, boy. If you really want to know the truth about having a portfolio that's not your portfolio while man doing things and making decisions on your portfolio, you could also talk to Rohan. Come upstairs and talk to Rohan. Ask Rohan how it does feel to get ferry without being in the ferry. Rohan is the Minister of Works and Transport. Rowley and Smallpin buy two fast ferry, $1 billion. Where Rohan? Alright, Rohan manage that now. Make sure it full up with gas. Yeah, let a man take some cloth and shine it. Yes, they turn Rohan into a car wash. You talking? You don't know what's going on in your portfolio, son. Imagine the douglAR sitting down here as a UNC and have more inside information in your PNM and your cabinet. Son, you're a neophyte. I don't even know your name. Minister what? Public utility. Minister. Boy, like they set me up. That is what you is. And finally, if you don't believe none of them other ministers, if you ain't going to ask Minister Dillon how it does feel to be a minister of housing when a man negotiating deal with a Chinese company and you just had to find out on the news about a contract that a Chinese company has, go and ask Dillon. Go and ask. This one you have to be real good. Because you might have to get a seance. Go and ask Franklin Khan how it felt to be the Minister of Energy and the Prime Minister took a Smallpin lawyer who is a dunce as a lawyer up to negotiate gas price contract. And he, Franklin Khan, was left home trying to run down the young girl that stress out he had. Ask Franklin Khan. Oh, you can't ask him. See? Take care you don't end up by Franklin. Because the stress could kill you being a PNM. So my brother minister of I don't know your name, be very careful. Hansard is something that is on the record for life, you know. Take care, the douglAR tattoo that on your chest. About there will be no increase in T&Tech bill. Boy, go and put some more makeup on us out there. We coming back. We taking a little break. I ain't going nowhere. Let us go and bust out and come back. I ain't done, you know. It have plenty things to come. We come. I just gonna drink some water. Come in.
Everybody rolling with the PNM. All the steppers moving with the PNM.
With the PNM. With the PNM. All the love PNM.
All the youths and all the children.
Look out tomorrow again. More lockdown. All you see here, there's no start to come. Right foot. Balize. I want to keep on dancing. Balize. Everybody just do the Balize. Everybody just do the Balize. Right foot. Balize. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. All the more lockdown coming. I happy like first time. The PNM jamming all here. All you got take the jam. Take the jamming. It's jamming after jamming. They deliver all the promises. They deliver the Balize for all you. More lockdown coming to Andalugo. All you got to take that and lock that on the pipe. Take it, smoke it. Anything you want to do with it. Die all the damn business. All the spread going and lock and coming. Balize for all you. They're jamming all here. Take it.
They jamming all our we. Some of we here want to take it. We didn't want it. We beg not to get it. We beg and we scream, don't give me that. But again, it we still, boy. It's pressure, boy. Some of them like it. What I go do? Now, I must say, I humbly apologize. Yesterday, we were supposed to have douglAR politics. I take my douglAR politics very seriously. It's very important, I believe, to give you information. There's only one thing that's more important than douglAR politics. That's my 6-year-old daughter. We got the opportunity to go fishing yesterday to go and try to get some kingfish. And I don't disappoint my daughter. So I took her fishing. We woke up at 5:30 and we went to meet the boat. That's why there's no douglAR politics. I humbly apologize. You could see I get a little darker. No makeup, no powder, no eyelash, no tattoo eyebrow, no bleach, shampoo. But, you know, once I go fishing, I must show my population the fantastic job being done by the PNM in keeping our borders secure. You know that we are in a pandemic. We have the Brazilian variant that came from illegal immigration. We had a minister Smallpin. We've been on lockdown for 16 months. Citizens aren't allowed to come home. Some of them are suffering, homeless, without medicine, without money. Some women have been forced to sell some things that they did not want to sell in order to survive outside, because the PNM is telling them they cannot come home. Pandemic. But every day, boats, pirogues coming in slow, fast, inside, outside, back and forth, dropping off at 81 known and 146 possible weak points on our border from Venezuela, where there's starvation, there's oppression, and there's a narco trafficker who's the friend of Keith Christopher Rowley in charge. But they told you that they put that Pump City Rasta, and he is going to be better than the Smallpin. He is going to pin all the holes in our porous borders. And we on lockdown, shut down, broke down, and dead down. Economy shattered. People can't make money. WASA disconnecting until the UNC tell them stop, and they don't stop. People hungry. People starving. Y'all want to see how your borders locked down? Let me show you the great improvement in border security. Run it.
Well, yes, they're patrolling. They're patrolling the 2 square inch where they park up and tie up. 7 vessels there, and in the graveyard around, 5 more park up. Look at the day, and all you say, yes, man. Yes, Ethelbert, the coastline safe. The only good thing is, Venezuelans want to leave Trinidad and Tobago right now, because we in such a mess. But bless, look, vessel, Parker, 100 hours in 8 days. Yeah, bright boy.
1,000 hours in 8 days, says that defense force man, to try and lie for the PNM when our lives are at stake. You see, this country, people have made a career of lying, and now when they're telling you the truth, you can't accept it. From the king of the liars, the greatest liar in the history of the Commonwealth, the recorded liar on Hansard, the man who lied to himself, about himself, by himself, for himself. But look at your security. When we pull out there from powerboats, I count 9 Venezuelan boats anchored on right there outside powerboat. With an average of 9 Venezuelan, one of them was so fat, he's sitting down, I going out 6 o'clock in the morning, I swear it's moon. He sit down on the bow of the boat, sir, and he pants all down by his hamstring. And it's moon big so in Venezuelan. I seen crack of Venezuela. No mask. No social separation, right there. No immigration, no medical, no healthcare, no customs, no nothing. Them all them Coast Guards sleeping like the belly full on Palau and doubles. And that's what they say they have done while we are dying, and you all think there is no need for a commission of inquiry into the handling of the pandemic. You all do not understand. They are now saying that the Delta variant is the most deadly, that some of the vaccines, nearly all of the vaccines are having problems with the efficacy against the Delta variant, which is the Indian variant, which was in Brazil approximately 3 to 4 weeks ago, which hit Venezuela 17 days ago, and which in all likelihood, I hope I am wrong, in all likelihood could be here. And that's your national security. No dome, no radar, no Coast Guard vessels, no diesel, no small patrol. I even passed by Colm, I must say Colm Bado, and see is watching douglAR politics. Your workers stop working because they're locking up workers in Freeport, locking up man who working on construction up in Grandy and so on. But in Bud, I pass by your house in Bud, I see the work, we even shout out, I say hello, yeah! I thought men might come out to say hello to the douglAR. Either you tell them, boy, hide. If you hear a big mouth man, don't come out. But there was no work going on in Bud. That's an improvement. See, if you make laws for the people, you should adhere to the laws. So I must say that I went. I know where you are in Bud. I went, and I did not see work going on. So that's an improvement. You're adhering to the law. So that's our security system. No change. 16 months. Venezuelan in and out when they want, how they want. They still come in even though we're on lockdown. Not in numbers, but once we start to open back. What's up? Papá, mi amor, ¿qué pasa? Todo bien, todo bien. Trabajo, mucho trabajo ahora. Todo abierto. Ven acá, boss. And they're coming back with no vessel, no radar, no army, no patrol, no police roadblock, no helicopter, no air guard. And you all think it's a bloody joke. People dying. And you all studying left foot, right foot, ballism, or nonsense. Media studying to protect Rowley still. Are you really that disgusting? Are you really that heartless? What is wrong with making people do the job that they're supposed to do? What's wrong with that? So in Trinidad, you could be up here and do nothing. Just do nothing. We love you, so we take good care of you. Only the PNM could do nothing. That's the plan? Delta variant, Indian variant. We have an uptick right now. Waiting for the numbers for today. Well, you don't know the simidimi with the weekend, whether they're testing, they're not testing, whatever. But yesterday, 346. A total uptick, 14 days, 15 days after the super spreader event, as science would have predicted. On this, if you all didn't know, I had this topic to discuss about a week or two now. But douglAR politics is an hour and a half, and I have about 3 hours of. They just tell me I talk too much. It's true. But oh Lord, I like to give you all points with facts, not just come here and rant and rave. try to give you the information and come to a conclusion. We have been begging the government to protect us, to protect our borders. Y'all, the media, y'all think this is a joke. It is not. Body of fisherman attacked by pirates washes ashore. This was Wednesday, June 16th. I had it since that. The search for fisherman Andrew Volman, who was forced to jump off his boat by gun-toting pirates, ended yesterday when his body washed ashore in Labre. This attack was one of at least 3 in the Gulf of Paria within a week, in which fishermen were forced aboard by pirates who stole their boats. Volman's boat was found drifting in the Gulf of Paria, minus its engine. We in a pandemic. Our borders are closed, locked down. Airport citizens cannot come. They cannot come into this country. We are fighting a pandemic. We have been asking you, if last year, April, May, June, we were at 116 cases for that whole period, 8 deaths, 54 days, no community spread, no increase. COVID dies if it cannot jump from one human being to another. 54 days, nearly 4 times the amount of time required to kill off the virus on these 2 rocks. If it was sealed tight like a vacuum with a dome, if we had dome builders, dome sweepers, dome carpenters, dome masons, dome technicians, dome communication people, if we had that kind of thing and it was locked off, there would be no COVID. Even Kobo coming to sprinkle COVID, the air guard would have zapped them Kobo. But we have COVID all up the wazoo and we are dying. And during a pandemic, you all hearing this? Fishermen are being abused, killed, stolen, thrown overboard during a pandemic. If your borders lock, I mean, or they help me. Sometimes I feel I'm too stupid because I don't understand. So please help me understand. If our borders are locked and sealed, how men getting robbed in the Gulf of Paria? And how man get away with boat and engine and so on? This is not a dynamite. Where the Coast Guard? Where the 15-day-man vessel? Where the 12-day-man vessel? The 3 Chinese vessels? The 20 small pirogue super fast? Where them? Gunshot going pow pow pow! No Coast Guard. Man sleeping so some. In a pandemic with borders locked. Look what Coast Guard doing. This was yesterday. See how I got a little sunburn thing? Yesterday, watch all your vessels and them. The patrolling, man. We doing so much patrol. We doing 1,000 hours in 8 days, man. That's what the man said. Because Balizé juice all up in his nose hole. And y'all think it's funny. How much time I have to tell all you? Man dead. Man getting robbed. Hear the Express. You see Express, when y'all play games and do enough to pretend you're a journalist, pretend you're a newspaper, pretend you're a news source, but really your hidden agenda is to keep Rowley there because your shareholders like Rowley there because they make billions of dollars in other spheres, in other fields with his policies. Okay, fine. But when you do this, people suffer, people die, people lose jobs, people starve, children lose their opportunity to excel. Children have not been in school. 46,690 plus 2,000 that drop out. 48,690 children have not been in school for 16 months. And the Prime Minister, the clown of all clowns, says, yes, we'll deal with that after. Deal with that after? Have you read a book, boy? Do you know the growth and maturational stages of human development? Do you know that a child between 0 and 8 learns more in that period than the human being from 9 till 100? Do you understand that once you miss out on that, it cannot be recouped? You will be at a deficit for life. You're going to catch up with that? Why your father didn't catch up with the pharmacy and buy prophylactics? Why they didn't teach your father about prophylactics back then? Huh? Why he had to just go bareback? And save we, he would have saved we all this pain and separation. Here the express. Fishermen under siege. The stubborn officials' silence in the face of unrelenting violence against those who brave the seas to meet the national demand for fish and other seafood shows a callous lack of interest in their well-being, in their welfare. Given the authorities' deafening silence and lack of response to the ongoing problem of piracy in the Gulf of Paria, the national fishing community is right to wonder if their lives are valued by those responsible for their safety. Touching words. Very true. Honest. Where was this on August 1st, 2020? Where was this on July 2nd, 2020? Where was this care and this information and this truth just ahead of an election? Because the borders were in the same mess. In late 2019, fishermen were killed. Same situation. Borders porous, illegal immigrants coming in, COVID-19 pandemic. Where was all this truth now? You come to tell us? Well, go and tell that to the dead fishermen. Go and tell that to those who have died of COVID-19, because you now wake up and realize that a government of incompetence is ruling us and our country is in grave danger. You all now wake up, but you assisted. You only start to print kind of the truth since October 2020 because them come to try and buy you out. Well, you feel all you're brighter than everybody here. A low point in this occurred in July 2019 when the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, you know, I must put in the small pin. Why a small pin? Asha Javid, how the small pin going? It choking where? In Goodwood Park, or it's still choking West Hills? Eh? You still writing in the Express? Great journalistic integrity of the Express? Where Urvashi to Wari Rupnarayan? Huh? Incurred the wrath of the families of 7 fishermen killed off Kali Bay after evoking the drug trade while ignoring requests to visit the hurting community. Ultimately, it proved to be the case of unconscionable stereotyping. So you now know, but you talking about July 2019, porous borders, no security, no Coast Guard, no Air Guard, no radar, piracy. That is before pandemic. And you let an election go and let Rowley laugh. I see Kamala going to create jobs. Karen Tishera, hear this one? Yes, you know what jobs they're going to create? Dome builders. All you have that video? All you don't have it. All you have it? Well, play it now, because I can't do it good like that dum-dum, that Oreo clown. Run the fool.
Manager, dome painter, dome attendant, dome support officer, and general dome service.
Now, I don't know what those clowns in red were laughing at, especially former Minister of Finance Karen Nunes Teixeira, who run and take out she money from Clico and then sit down and negotiate, did not tell the governor of the central bank that she, as Minister of Finance, had 10,000 shares in Clico and that she was really negotiating to protect the value of her shares, but she's sitting down there skinning she pan like that's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, just now, all you listen to this carefully because this is very, very worrisome. Kamla Prasad Bissessa spoke about creating a dome to protect the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. A dome in security terms means when you utilize all your resources from the sea, the land, all of your executing public servants, your army, your Coast Guard, your radar, your aerial support with your helicopters and your Air Guard, and you lock down a border tight. That is called a security dome.
Yeah, Express. And you all let that man talk that nonsense. The next day, well, the day after, because he does talk in the evening, the day after, a real newspaper would have had front page. Nonsense from the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, incompetent, lack of understanding. Prime Minister, gaff, dotish, something. But no. Y'all let that fool talk that nonsense, just like they go in the parliament yesterday and talking nonsense about punching and lime and sunlight, and y'all leave their nonsense in serious business. Y'all left that idiotic statement unchecked, undestroyed, for the population to feel. You know, some people went and vote thinking Kamala was really going to build a dome over Trinidad and Tobago out of vibranium. And you all are writing now. Here the Guardian now. The Guardian of Rowley's K-Pax. I think my argument has been made that these pieces of trash are not to be read if you are serious about your country. Because they allow you to feel that Keith Christopher Rowley has a heart. He like you. He cares. He has a plan. None of which is true. Well, he had no plan for you. You is to wean yourself off of he, which is he control your money. You wean yourself off your own money. He have a plan to procure without procurement and to let his Gary Sobers negotiate everything. And he meet with every CEO. And oh Lord, his whole mass. No procurement legislation, no regulator, contract, bid, buy ferry himself, ferry, give this, give away. Oh God, yes. Who better to spend your money than Keith Christopher Rowley? A man that some gravel rolled from by a hospital to somewhere by him. A man who was Minister of Housing and over $2 billion of projects never went nowhere. Las Alturas. A man who buy Greenville from Ibrahim. Man who allowed people sign things for them to go up set of 15 stories and increase the value of the asset from 10 million to 750 million. Who better to spend your money than a man who would go in parliament and lie for an hour and 15 minutes on email, get knowing he was lying, brought the thing to lie, born to lie, went up in Newberry Hill, drink coffee and eat scones with the chairman of the Integrity Commission telling me going and lie, and two of them decide, yeah boy, go and lie. And you all vote for that because newspapers tell all you. Well, here the Guardian now. Time to revamp border security plan. When is this? Could it have been in 2019 when 7 people died? Could it have been in March 2020 when the pandemic was around and we had to protect ourselves and keep our borders locked down? No. Wednesday, June 16th. This just the other day. Them now write this. 8 days ago. Time to revamp border security plan. Now is the time. Yesterday, Trinidad and Tobago citizens received the news that fisherman Andrew Volman had died at the hands of pirates operating in the waters of our southwest peninsula. Volman's body washed ashore and so on. The recent discovery by Tobago fishermen of 15 bodies on a boat. Dead people flows past we security. Imagine you in a nightclub. Use the bouncer, everybody want to go in effect. And dead men get in. 15 dead men pass through the gate and end up in the party, them on the floor, so in the party. The base bouncing them ground. 15 dead people in a boat floating, we national security protected areas in a pandemic. And you all think this is a funny joke. You all don't see that this is the highest level of incompetence known to man. And while you all are understanding that, and our borders are still porous, and we worse off now because Ethelbert is even more dotish than small pig. Con 353 casos, Zulia encabeza la lista. Venezuela registró 1,197 nuevos contagios de COVID in one day. Venezuela, and this is Maduro statistics. I don't know whose statistics to believe more, Maduro on or Convangel on. They're about the same level. But 1,197 positive cases. And out of those, 11 cases were new of the Delta variant, meaning community, it came from through porous borders of Venezuela. So, I wonder if any reach here. The next day, Venezuela reaches 260,000 COVID infections. 260,000, that they know of. And they know COVID, 80% of the people, they say COVID and they don't even know you had anything. 260,000. Extrapolate. Could be up at 1 million cases. How many pass through? We open border. We command line border. We come. I see a video of Venezuelan linemen on the beach in Toco. We lock down. We can't go nowhere. Them linemen on a beach in Toco. Well, here it is. On June 19th, in the last 24 hours, there were 1,273 new cases of COVID. In 2 days, 2,400 cases of COVID in Venezuela, where the Indian variant, the Delta variant, has arrived 2 weeks or 18 days ago. But remember this fella? Remember this fella who said that we, in Trinidad and Tobago, he commended us for doing so well. I want to know where this fella is. Archie and Vishnola, get ready to line up this fella. I like to say his name though. He named a song like he bright. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. You sound like you should run 5,000 meters in the Olympics, boy. You sound like an athlete. You even sound kind of spiritual, boy. Ghebreyesus. Well, let me hear the nonsense Ghebreyesus talk a few months ago, about 3-4 months ago, and then ask him what you think now. Run it.
And I would also like to recognize that Trinidad and Tobago, your country, has done very well in this pandemic. And this is because of your leadership. Even without vaccines, using simple public health solutions, we can see from your own experience that this virus can be controlled. So thank you so much for your leadership, Your Excellency, and I welcome your solidarity, and I'm pleased that your first health worker was vaccinated today.
What say you, Tedros? Tedros? You see what happened, Tedros? When you make a statement, because a dum-dum just talk for half an hour, you don't know if he's a liar. You don't know if he's talking the truth. You don't know nothing. You just talk to a man. He named Prime Minister. You feel like you're excited to be around these leaders. And you take his word for verbatim. And you talk nonsense based on the crap that he say. That's what you talk, Tedros. What do you say now, Tedros? Is Trinidad and Tobago doing, we still have no vaccine. Are we still doing so fantastically well with the COVID? You sound like that Pumpsite Rasta up in New York, a Yankee Rasta. This is the nonsense that happens at the WHO. And you are telling us, as Rowley tried to boast, that we are the best in vaccine because Guyana didn't wait for WHO and Barbados didn't wait for WHO because the first 100,000 AstraZeneca that Barbados got, that Mia Moore Motley brought in, did not have WHO approval. Yeah, but you forgot to tell the population, Rowley. Out of that 100,000, Mia Moore Motley was gracious enough to give us 2,000 to start our program, to kick off our vaccination program, to vaccinate 1,000 health workers in the front. You forgot to say that when our health workers received that AstraZeneca, that was not WHO approved. It was the very same set that you are now criticizing Barbados for having taken the risk of procuring vaccines without WHO approval. And you try to do that same thing with Guyana. Guyana operating, thing working. But you then came to compare us to Haiti. You came to compare us to one of the poorest countries on God's green earth. Look at what happened though. You came to say that we better than Haiti because Haiti have 11 million people. Okay. Well, look at Haiti's statistics as of June 26, 2021 at 4:09 p.m. 4:09 GMT. AM, right? Yes. Coronavirus cases in Haiti, 18,073. Deaths from coronavirus in Haiti, 404. No vaccine. There are no vaccine yet. Very few. But look at this, my beautiful red, black, and white. Trinidad y Tobago. Coronavirus cases, 31,775. Nearly twice as many as Haiti, with 1/10 of the population. We have 791 deaths. And you lying, look boy. All the years on media me cost live, you know. I feel I want to do an urvashi on you, you know. I feel I could give you an urvashi, boy. You lie so much. You even lying on the poor people of Haiti that have black people free. To sell love, but you must be thrown in the grave. Because we are free, and we were even free to elect you because of Haiti. Now we stupid. We let the media confuse us. We didn't move good with the finger, but at least we were free to be dotish. And we have to thank Haiti for that. You come to attack Haiti and you lie on Haiti. We are worse than Haiti by far. Nearly double the deaths with 1/10 the population. You abject, dangerous clown. You are bordering on totally criminally negligent in your leadership of this country, and you are attacking Haiti. So now that we couldn't beat Haiti. Well, the dunce convent girl now, talking with an English accent, like he from St. Joseph Convent, Abercrombie Street. Yes, like he went to school in a blue skirt with a white blouse and a little pin in the middle. He gone now when he say, oh my God, I can't use Haiti again. Woo! Let me find somewhere. And he went and find Yemen. Yemen, he went and find Yemen. Oh, you run it. I can't make up this. I can't make it up. Run it. You go find it. I just take it. You can't believe that it's that much breath. Run it. We go find it just now. I change up the order on them. I wouldn't go for them so much. I did that. But understand that somehow the PNM, the way that they operate is to operate at the lowest possible level. The lowest level of creativity, ingenuity, hard work, diligence, possibility, problem solving. They operate at ground zero of sense. And then come to compare, to tell you, we are really not that incompetent. Look at this country. We're better than this one. They have 207 or so sovereign nations in the world. And we looking for the worst in each aspect to say that we ain't that bad. Is that where we reach? So Hazley Crawford should not be the whole world in 1976. He should not run past in lane 1, run past Harvey Glantz, run past Donald Corey from Jamaica, run past the Russian, run past the Panamanian. He should not beat all of them. He should have run last and say, boy, I was really second to last, you know, a man scratch. Run the thing, run the clown convent girl.
Could you imagine if the UNC was in office now and a prime minister like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, SCMP, was holding a press conference at the diplomatic center, as my prime minister does, and he brings out with pride, you can hear the pride in his voice when he asks Dr. Parasram to come and give his daily report. Do you know the bush medicine that will be practiced when the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar trots out Trevor Sayers? Trevor Sayers will be the CMO of this country under Kamla Persad-Bissessar government. Because they believe in what? Sunshine. They believe in rum. Keep the bars open. Punching and lying.
48-8, this motion is not about Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
I just gave you all a moment of silence for the death of convent girl's brain. That is the Minister of Health of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That is the man in charge of keeping us safe. That is the man in charge of specialist doctors who went past being called doctor and back to Mr. You know how bright you have to be a doctor that is called Mr.? That clown, that complete idiot, that embarrassment to his offspring is the Minister of Health of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. No joke. That. And then you wonder why, with a population of 1.39 local inhabitants and 150 to 200,000 illegal Venezuelan immigrants, by the time I finish this show today, we'll be over 800 deaths from COVID-19. That every day we're now in a spike after this idiot told people to go for vaccine that did not exist. That we had 351,000 Pfizer vaccines 3 months ago and he couldn't get it. This clown that puts a playwright who should be making Shakespearean statements and painting backstage and lighting stage in Queen's Hall, he in charge of our pandemic fight. People are dying at home from COVID-19. We have Clarence the dunce Rambarat boasting that the COVID-19 home program for positive cases is working. And he say that with a straight dotish face. That man. And here the arrogance. Think about it for a moment, people. Whatever job you do, you're doubles, you're selling doubles, you're a garbage collector, a teacher, Montessori, a coach, a writer, a strategic planner, a CEO, a business person, a media person, a television host, a bar lady, a waitress, a nurse, doctor, a lawyer, whatever profession working in the oil and gas, a welder, carpenter. Think about whatever skill that you are supposed to possess to earn your living. Think about if you suck, if you're just terrible, if you are the worst at, if you're supposed to write novel and you can't even make a sentence without green verb. You can't describe nothing with words, but you are a novelist. Think about if you're a teacher and you're teaching Spanish, but you're talking French. Think about if you're a chef and you're supposed to make a cordon bleu and you thought bleu mean blurry and it's not bleu and you use the wrong ingredients. Think about if you're a garbage man, you're supposed to pick up the rubbish and instead of picking it up, you bust every bag and throw it out in the road all over. And then you talk to your boss and you saying, "Boy, I'm the baddest garbage man, brother. You don't know how it is. Imagine if Johnny was the garbage man and Johnny could never do a work like me. If Johnny was the garbage man, the garbage would have fly up in the sky. I am the best garbage man." Did you see the arrogance? It baffles me that somebody could be so incompetent, could be so dotish, could be so stupid, could fail at every aspect of a job and still have the audacity to feel that they're good and talk out of their mouth arrogantly. It is an amazing feat. I think we have to invite scientists here to conduct detailed DNA analysis of the PNM cabinet, starting with that one, that convent girl. He then went on to compare we to Yemen. I don't know if we had that clip. We had that clip? Nah, but he did. Yemen, so they gave Haiti arrest because they lie on Haiti. A man lie on Patrick Manning. He lie on Kamala. He lie on the People's Partnership. He lie on Delcy Gate. He lie on Vaccine Gate. And he lie on Haiti Gate too. Newsday editorial. Let's hear from Judy Raymond. We haven't heard from a long time from Judy Raymond. We heard that she's going through a little bit of counseling. She's a little depressed. Because since Rowley got COVID, you know, with the erectile dysfunction and so on, there is the problem. So Judy is not as happy as pre-COVID. She in post-COVID partum, all right, because of Rowley's lack of performance. She writes, the government should reconsider its position with regard to reopening the borders in light of the Prime Minister's disclosure that vaccine supplies may soon run out. The high COVID-19 rate and the unsettled nature of international practices with regard to admission criteria. By Dr. Rowley's own admission last Saturday, this country is on course to exhaust its supply of COVID-19 vaccine doses. As things stand, those who require a second dose are likely to be covered, but no new doses will be administered thereafter. This is Judy Raymond. Yes, Judy Raymond, but you don't understand. The Yankees, the USA have told Rowley this stupid lockdown of the airport cannot continue because it is anti-competitive. So whether we have 800 death or no COVID, Brazilian variant and so on, he have to change it because the plan never worked. It oppressed people and it did not solve anything. We are the worst in COVID. And now, on COVID, we told you on douglAR Politics since last year, April and May, COVID-19 presents two deleterious, negative, dangerous impacts. On one hand, the death and destruction that could come from the infection. And on the other hand, the devastation that could come from poverty if you have a government that does not have a clue that they locked down, shut down, broke down, and dead down. You have to be creative. You have to work in a hybrid situation, or else the people will suffer. Poverty will increase. Hunger and starvation will become the norm. The economy will be shattered. People would lose all their wealth accumulated, and your recovery time from this economic disaster could be 10 to 15 years. The PNM under Keith Rowley has failed on both. Run it. Watch this. This is my people, my citizens, hungry. Watch it. Run it. Look at it. Feel it. Understand that children have no food. Single mothers have no food. People have not worked for over 51 days. And this arrogant clown called Rowley has a convent girl who still feel somebody care what the hell he have to say. Watch my people. Watch carefully.
We love you so we take good care of you. Only the PNM understands. We love you so we take good care of you. Only the PNM has a plan. TT card for groceries, medicine for free, houses to live in, gas subsidy, free education. ABC to PhD, hot meals in schools, your child is free. We love you so we take good care of you. Only the PNM understands. We love you so we take good care of you. Only the PNM has a plan. PNM's got the love, 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 love. PNM understands. PNM's got the love, 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 love. PNM has the plan. PNM's got the love, 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 love. PNM understands. PNM's got the love, 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 love. PNM has the plan.
God bless. Look, Vessel, Parker.
Food rush.
100 hours
Food rush, leave
in
it in.
8 days. Yeah, bright boy.
Fight for food. In my sweet country, Trinidad and Tobago, my people, my citizens that I believe are the greatest in the world, the most creative, the most together, the most unified, the most intelligent, the best. My people are fighting for food. Elections have consequences. Desperate people turned away from food, from getting food. Pull back. This is Trinidad and Tobago. This was expected due to incompetence. But those who live up in the skylight of Renaissance with their brains locked off and not touching the ground do not understand the pain. When Kamla Prasad Visesa tells you all of the pain that is on the ground last week, the clowns and the PNM, Rowley, and then instructed Small Pin, Tight Shirt, a la Rental, all the recusal twins and so on came out to attack Kamla, saying that she was inciting revolution, abject total nonsense. Kamla is a pure believer in the democracy and the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. What she was saying was that. What she was saying that people are starving. What she was saying is that the people cannot take anymore. What she was saying, before you now see it, Kamla Prasad Visesa was talking of that. You are all shocked now because you're not on the ground. The woman Kamla Prasad Visesa is a woman from the ground. Used to plant rice, play sport, hockey is a barrier, poor people, one room, 8, 10 people, one room. She is on the ground. She knew the pain. She feeling the pain. She touched more people than all you. She not no knife and fork. You all come to say that nonsense, and the media, social media, papers, mass media, oh, Kamla talking about insurrection. What nonsense? Kamla was talking about that. About those. Put up some images if all you have, you know. Kamla was talking about this. Look at my people hungry. My people starving. My people coming for food. And that's what the PNM has to say. You know what the PNM answer to that pain was? That they was greedy. Them not needy. They greedy. Donna Cox, in one fell swoop, you have moved from a non-entity to leading the race in abject stupidity. You pass Rowley and Convent Girl with one statement. You watching hungry people and balling the greedy. People who have not worked for 51 days cannot feed their children. Let me tell you something. If I could not give my daughter some food, me I know what I would do, you know. But Donna Cox, I don't know what I would do, but I had to get food to feed my child. But all they don't care. People need to feed their children. For 16 months, parents have been going without meals to allow their children to eat. They're joking and calling it pandemic diet. It's not funny. You come to say that people lining up for food, greedy. So when an attorney general rent out his own building and take $38 million to outfit it, he not greedy. Yeah? When you spend all that money on your weave, you ain't greedy. You ain't greedy when all your bundles every week, different bundles. And Donna Cox, people not needy, they greedy. You take your time to come up with that. You heartless woman. You see, when you get too close and intimate with a man, you just become like the man, you know. Eh? Remember the fella, my partner, was crying, park up outside while Rowley was inside? Like you get just like Rowley. You see what has happened when you rub up too much on a heartless human being? You become heartless. Donna Cox. I never mention you on the show. I don't want to mention you. You useless. You come to call citizens who hungry and starving greedy. Shame on you, woman. Shame on you, Donna Cox. Only run a video before I cuss here, you know, because you boy this douglAR politics thing getting very difficult. I want to go fishing again. Run something.
Lines of desperation, lines of hunger. But Minister Donna Cox says the situation is not that bad. She says persons are not in need, but they are being greedy. Could Minister Donna Cox explain whether any minister or their family can survive on a market box, or $1,500, or a $250 food card for the entire month? The reality is no. Minister Donna Cox, your statement is inhumane, your statement is inaccurate, and your statement lacks any compassion for the vulnerable who are struggling at this time. Instead, you sound very detached from the reality in Trinidad and Tobago.
They really have no shame. I run out of vocabulary to describe all you. Really and truly. My vocabulary has been stretched. What is that all you're putting up there? Just now. Don't get up. Right. But anyway, I've run out of adjectives. People are hungry. Y'all are unaware. Because you all go in your MP offices and tell people to pull numbers. And once you reach number 25, all you only seen 25 people. When Kamala Persad-Bissessar was Prime Minister, she would see 400 to 500 people on a Tuesday and 200 to 300 people on a Saturday. Jack Warner would see about 700. Rudal Munidal 400. I would have seen 150 to 200 people on a Tuesday and a Saturday. And we were instructed by the Prime Minister, do not flip and leave until you see the last person. You all PNM just put, Rowley has never been in his office. My father's live right there by the office. Not one day you see black car with special branch, not one day. This is what happens when you're out of touch. So one man getting $3.8 billion of people's money in work, and his brother is a super minister. He not greedy. But people coming for a hamper, coming for flour to make bread, coming for corned beef to go with rice, coming for a little provision to make a little soup, to roll some dumpling, to put a little chicken, a little piece of fish. People coming for food, them greedy. But a clown coming government and plenty talking with some cyclists and bawling about Maduro this, and he's great, and he'd come to now be a merchant banker on the stock exchange, and $3.81 billion of taxpayer money gone in the direction of a minister, brother. The minister had to recuse himself. He and the next tight shirt, tight pants, lover boy one. 92 times they recused themselves. Them not greedy. Arawi and them not greedy. He and his family getting not only legal brief, but rentals, 100 million a year. Them not greedy. My people who looking for dumpling, polori, food to eat. We greedy. Hey Donna, we greedy? Guardian newspaper, the Guardian of Rowley's K-Pax. This is what you have done, Guardian. You and the other members of the media who have espoused Rowley's virtue when everybody knows he's a heartless human being. This is why he is there. Because the Guardian prints the truth about how people hungry and so on, and clearly they've underestimated. But then here it is. While the government has done tremendous work to buffer the economic hardship. That's what the Guardian printed now. Really, what's the tremendous work? The tremendous work is spending $23 billion and only 425 million have gone to the 1.4 million people out there, and people are starving and hungry, begging for hampers and being accused of being greedy when they would like a little food to eat. That's what the government has done well on, Guardian. Look, run, this is what you all have as Prime Minister. Run the fool now, run the lying. Look, run it.
Prime Minister called on opposition MPs to ask their leader when she took the COVID vaccine and when she got COVID. This was his response to questions from opposition MPs in the House of Representatives today as they called on him to say whether or not he received a dose of the Pfizer vaccine donated by the US to the Ministry of National Security. The Prime Minister said he would dignify what he called an out-of-place question with an answer. The opposition leader says she does not have COVID and never did. Jewel Brown reports.
Unlike the other leader in this house, I told the country when I was diagnosed as a positive patient with COVID-19.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley referring directly to opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar during what turned out to be a heated exchange at times between himself and members of the opposition during Prime Minister's question time on Wednesday. He was being pressed by the opposition about the 400 doses of the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine that the government said was donated by the United States to the National Security Ministry.
Member for Caroni Central.
Thank you. Can the Prime Minister indicate whether he was a recipient of this Pfizer vaccine?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I wish that the members of the opposition would stop attempting to mislead the public with blatant lies and untruths.
It was at this point the Prime Minister began to compare himself to the opposition leader.
I told the country when I was in isolation. I told the country when I can be vaccinated. The Minister of Health actually told the country the date on which I can be vaccinated. So to come here today and ask me if I took vaccine from the 400, you are just a mischief maker, and that is your pen.
Yes, you told us and your Minister of Health lied because there's no such thing globally about you had COVID and you had to wait 6 months to take vaccine, you liar. Number one. Number two, answer the question. Did you take the Pfizer, boy? End of story. All this drama. And number three, Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been up and about. I have interacted with Kamla Persad-Bissessar in meetings, advisory policy formulation and so on for the entire period. Kamla Persad-Bissessar had no COVID whatsoever. So you just come to concoct in a place, throw out in the parliament, Kamla COVID. Now let's pretend, having said that, let's pretend that Kamla Persad-Bissessar had COVID. Let's pretend that you are not the total concocting, lying miscreant that you are, Keith Christopher Rowley. Then you, sir, will have a lot of explaining to do. You, your Minister of Health, and those doctors who you all have turned into PNM Balize Jew suckers. They will have to explain how someone's private, confidential health information got into the hands of a miscreant lying fool. How did that happen? You see, you got them in some trouble there, Rowley. And talking about trouble, let me tell you, I didn't hear you, Rowley, since you're not answering questions. Try to answer now. You say you're a proud black man. I see this video, I had it there all the time, you know. But in light of the arbitration that all you say, ask Kamla, I go ask you, Rowley. Rowley, proud black man, and the UNC want to feed black people banana, and I'm a proud black man. Is this your good friend? Is this the man you called when there were allegations of fake oil? Is this your brethren? And what's that word he's using? I, proud douglAR, African black father, Indian sorry when mother, I don't use them word or that word. I don't even bother because that word is a terrible word. Rowley, is this your friend? Run it.
This one is that. This is for Dr. Keith Rowley and the youthful and impeccable structure. We call it. I celebrated the PNM celebration now. So I just give my love it. Just give my love you, boy. And Rowley, you doing it? I'm talking to Rowley. Rowley. Yeah. I don't want to like talk down boy. And today come out to celebrate the flying of PNM candidates and of PNM people. What is the mind like this? Study by what? What's key? What's nothing? Or it's when they are of the mind. But now who do you want it when?
appropriate. I mean, if you have a friend and you hear that, you know, something like that happened to me, you wouldn't ask him, you know, what's this about? I mean, I couldn't wait to call him to find out what all this is about. I mean, and he said he doesn't know, right? Because he's not aware of it, right? So, I mean, if I have a friend and I'm accused in that way and the friend doesn't reach out to me to find out what's going on, I can look at you kind of funny. I want to say to Ms. Kamla Prasad Bissessa and the UNC, I'm a proud black man in this country and you have offended me.
Are you proud black man? Hey, your friend, let me hear you now, Mr. Proud Black Man. Your brethren, your friend, you call him, you have to make sure that's a good friend, and I call him and 100 million fake oil. What is that? I in charge, I is the national security, I in the council, I in charge of Petrotrin, I in charge of the government, but I call him a friend because I love my friend, that's my friend. What you say now, you proud black man? How your friend using that word? What is that word? He does call you that? Remember when I tell you, you don't have to be a different color to be a racist, you know. You could be a Oreo, and the worst kind of racist is a man who shame on himself, you know. Because I told you all, when Rowley was in a party in Goodwood Park 2 years ago on a New Year's Eve, them boys were smoking cigar and drinking scotch and saying, look my end here, come, look my little black boy end here. You see what I say? Or you thought the douglAR was lying? Keith Rowley, media, social media, people, black survivors, black brothers, all you what's going on there? Does he need to make a statement? Does he need to say something? Is that his friend? Did he stop being his friend? Because that video old, that video since August 10, 2020, that your friend? That your kind of friend? That is who you are. We know that, Rowley. So let me tell you something. I done talk about you. Let my lady from Tobago tell you what you are, Rowley boy. And Donna, you shouldn't have go so close to a heartless man, Donna. You shouldn't have done it. You shame yourself, Donna. Run it there, Archie.
You were never a good man, and don't play you come in and talk up in front that we are your employers and we are your employers, because if people put you there to do a job for them, and this is how you're treating them, insult them every time they ask a question, you ain't ready yet. You're not ready. In the first place, you say you never wanted the job. So anytime a person don't like what they're doing, they will never do a good thing with it. They will always nasty it and make it look bad, and that is what you're doing. A big man like you, behave yourself. It's either you behave or you get out of the government and free the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Freedom, we want to be free. We want to be free from you. You're making everything look bad in this nation for we. You're not good at all. You're not good at all. Me not hide to tell you, you're not good. It's the worst thing ever happened to Trinidad and Tobago. You keep Christopher Rowley. I know you just be on the live and them I want you to listen. This is one woman in Tobago who don't afraid you.
You ain't good since you was a teacher and impregnate a girl of school age, Rowley. You wasn't good in 1969 and you're worse in 2021. You complete ridiculous human being. Nothing redeeming. Not one thing. You don't even take care of all your children. Only the ones inside. Nothing about you. But let me ask you, what your friend saying? He calling you people, you proud black man. I bet you don't say nothing. You proud black man. You're not shutting down Petrotrin because a man tell you, if you don't shut it down, all are we going down. So you can't say nothing. You have to take that, eat your banana, let him peel it for you, and push it straight up in your caca hole. We gone, we out.
This one is that. This is for Dr. Keith Rowley and the youthful and impeccable Scotland. We call it. I'm celebrating the PNM celebration now. So I just give my love it. You got me my love, you boy. If you're that girl, you might not be my wife. And Rowley, you doing it. I'm talking to Rowley. Rowley. Yeah. I love what you like. Come down, boy. And the next come out to celebrate the flying of PNM candidates and of PNM people. What do you combine like this? Study by what? What does it? Or it's been the out of the mind? But now, who do you want to celebrate
I mean, if you have a friend and you hear that, you know, something like that happened to me, you wouldn't ask him, you know, what's this about? I mean, I couldn't wait to call him to find out what all this is about. I mean, and he said he doesn't know, right? Because he's not aware of it, right? So, I mean, if I have a friend and I'm accused in that way and the friend doesn't reach out to me to find out what's going on, I will kind of look at you kind of funny.